In my previous first impressions video of the Sceptre U435, I mentioned that there was a problem with overscanning that was in the firmware. I did some searching online on how to get into the factory menu, and I was able to actually correct the problem. Um, and it's literally a configuration issue from the factory that's wrong. So to fix the problem, we simply need to first identify there is a problem. I'll show you that. We're at 4K, everything's looking great, but then we play a game that's at 1080, that we want to play at native res 1080 because our video card can't really chunk along, and it's not, the eye candies isn't as good as we'd like it to be. So we switch to 1080 and we notice, well, wait a minute, overscan, I can't see my icons at the bottom. Sorry, it's a little dark. Over here, they're cut off. Side. It's basically around the entire perimeter of the screen, we lose a bunch of stuff. Granted, probably not the most important stuff, but if you want to use it like a monitor, it's kind of important. So how do we fix it? As I mentioned, the factory service menu is your friend. So you'll need your handy dandy TV remote. And we'll start by pushing menu 7343 fairly quickly. If it doesn't work right away, just try it again. So I'm going to hit menu 7343 and it comes up right away. Now you'll see here, I'm not sure how well this is going to focus, but we're going to be looking for picture settings. I'll just get this out of the way. This is a factory menu. You change things in here. It changes things on the EEPROM and how your TV works. If you screw it up, you might end up with a brick, meaning it won't turn on, you'll never get it working right, you'll get things out of spec, and it'll ruin some component, because who knows how these electronics are so cheaply made that they don't put in fail-safes. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. Go into picture setting. We have our source as HDMI. What we're doing works on the current source, so if I had to guess, this is per input, so this is, for example, HDMI 1. If you change this overscan on HDMI 1, it does not necessarily apply to the other HDMI inputs. So now we'll go into overscan, and you'll note that it says HStart plus 14. Well, that is what's causing it to stretch to outside of our visible, outside of the panel visibility, so we just back and forth on the remote here, take it down to 0, then we'll hit menu to go back, and then we'll go down to V-start, again, back and forth, we'll take it to 0, hit menu, and then just keep hitting menu until we're out of the service or the factory menu. Now, we have a perfectly sized 1080p screen that is no longer overscan. If you want to test it out, just power off the monitor, power back on. This monitor's kind of slow, so it takes a little while to boot or whatever. And it comes right back to being exactly how we set it. The other way to test it out would be switch it up to, let's say, go back to 4K. We'll go right back to 1080. Still looks great. So we've essentially fixed one of the problems that I was complaining about. Hope this helped you. FYI, there are a lot of other things in that factory menu. For example, I think you can turn off the logo as you turn on the TV, and there's some power things in there and some dynamic contrast and all sorts of cool goodies. But seriously, be careful when you're in there, because you could really screw up your TV, or at least get it into a state where it's not anything like you thought it would be. Now, with that said, apparently, I'll give you another little quick tip. Apparently, there's a way to factory reset it that is more than just the all reset function here. And I believe it is menu 3678 or 3698, one of those two. I won't do it now because I have actually changed some other settings that I don't want to clear out. If you have any questions, leave them below. Otherwise, good luck.